hey, like, subscribe, follow. Um, if there's certain content you want to see, whatever it may be in finances, just let me know and we'll bring it to the people. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Hey, what up, good people? So today I'm going to just talk about like the Odell Beckham situation where he said $100 million. It's not enough to build generational wealth. I'm kind of going off the cuff with this, but some of the things that if I was put in that situation. Now, let me be clear. I never had that type of money. At some point I will. We don't know when that's gonna be. But I'm already thinking like, dang, what would I do with that type of money? So the first thing I'm considering is I'm being educated on the different things that are available for somebody who makes that type of money. What are the strategies I can use in terms of homes, in terms of, using cattle, in terms of turning my home or my yard, part of it's going to be a cemetery, things of that nature. What are the tax benefits that comes along with all this different type of stuff, right? And so I'm looking at my cash flow, being educated, money in, money out, figuring out where all my money is going and prioritizing the focal point of this money. My household is going to be first. My wife, my kids, whoever's in my household is going to be number one priority. And of course, the faith they gonna get their portion too, right? So so that's already taken care of. But yeah, so we're gonna prioritize that, and then next in terms of priority, who we helping, who we serving, is gonna be my parents, siblings, in-laws, right? And from there, like for us, like I don't need no $1 million home. Like we ain't got no family of 10 right now. If you got a big family like that, then I'm sure you can make it work within your situation with that type of money and do it in the most efficient way. But like $500,000 house is that's plenty. That may be too much space. So somewhere between a quarter of a million or 300,000 and $500,000 home, because the maintenance shouldn't be that bad. Great upkeep, cars are going to be paid for, something like I can just pay for, if that makes sense, because we don't want to mess up the opportunity cost that comes with that as well. Because okay, that's great, we dumping all this money to pay off this, but is that costing us to be able to invest in something? So we got to keep that in perspective. So it all depends on the situation that we're currently in on how we're going to do that. And so once we got the car, the house, then we're going to figure out, like, the in-laws and the parents, they don't need that much money. They don't need, without working, everything paid for, 50, 50,000 may be plenty of money. When everything's paid for, just what we're gonna do is we're gonna get everybody an Amex Gold, because you got to eat, right? So all the food that we purchase, we're gonna use on that Amex Gold, and now we're getting them points. And now we're gonna be able to do things. We're gonna be able to, instead of spending that dollar once, we're gonna be able to spend it twice. And then at certain places, you get fuel points and things like that. So it's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on with that. And I know some people say, well, that's small stuff, but that stuff make a big difference, especially when you looking to make the money stretch. You want to do it in the most, the best way possible. And that's going to vary the person who you talk to and things like that. But that's something I currently do now. So that's why I brought that up. But we're going to look at that and do little stuff like that. But also, in addition to, all right, so we're going to make sure we protect life, health, and income. Because outside of being educated, looking at your finances, one of your foundational pieces and making sure you're protecting life, health, and income. If I get sick, if I can't work, or whatever the case is, I need to make sure plans in place to make sure that the family's going to be okay. And so I want to make sure that we have the proper insurances in place. It could be, having that type of money. I'm thinking like, I'm going max fund, probably some type of IUL, maybe even a whole life. I don't know. But it's going to be max fund. If I can't, if I ain't max funding it just don't make sense. Let's go ahead and dump that money in, make it grow and compound. over the years, and then potentially use that money at a later date. Then I'll probably get some type of annuity that I ain't got to worry about touching for a long time, and then at a certain point, I can annuitize, right? And then obviously I'm a big fan of stocks, so I will look into stuff like that. So that's kind of the starting point of what I would do. Like I use the analogy of being that Odell Beckham played wide receiver as the financial coach or the financial strategist, the wealth strategist, whatever you want to call it. He's the wide receiver, we're the head coach. Or it could be some case like, yeah, like we're the head coach. We can see the bigger picture. We can see what you can't see. And that's why I tell people your money coach is just like the coach you had in Little League, the coach you had in high school, because we can see things that you can't see. It's like when Bill Belichick coaching with the Patriots, I'm sure, coaching now with UNC, like it wasn't just about coaching necessarily, but he also taught them about the refs and the mannerism and the different things that they more so called, especially when it came to situational football, the different, hey, in this type of situation, be careful because on 3rd and 10, he really likes to call PIs or pass interference. All right, on this type of situation, be careful, lineman. He really likes to call or she likes to call, holding, whether it's true to what they're saying or not. It can be a little iffy. Those are the things, like the things you can't see. It's those blind spots when you're driving. Like when you look, you think no one's there, you think no car is there, but that car is there. And so having a plan in place, having somebody outside of yourself, because most people, yeah, you could probably do a great job making more money, but how much better of a job could you have done if you had a professional who does this all day, every day, who has a team of professionals around him, who had the tax strategist, who has the different lawyers or attorneys on standby to making sure that everything works. It's like a financial blueprint. Like everything works together. And then you have the different specialists within the firm. Now they bring that all together. It's just like, would you rather have a general surgeon that's operating on your heart, or would you rather have a heart surgeon that's operating on your heart? So would you just rather have a general person working with your finances, i.e. your wife or your husband, or would you rather have a professional that's licensed in the industry and this is what they've been doing for years, for decades, and has many decades of experience, who's helped multiple families throughout the nation, throughout different countries? Like, would you rather have that, the specialist, or would you just want to have the generous that just kind of knows but don't really know? But maybe I'll do something else to break it down a little bit more and things like that. But hey, like, subscribe, follow. Um, if there's certain content you want to see, whatever it may be in finances, just let me know, and we'll bring it to the people. Like, share, subscribe, follow.